Everybody's afraid at some level that they're not enough in some context. Not smart enough, not pretty enough, not strong enough, not rich enough, not funny enough. And you may not be feeling that right now in your life, but we all feel that. You know, we have all had dreams and goals we had at one stage in our life, but very few people ever start to live those because obviously obstacles come up. Somebody stabs you in the back, something doesn't work out. And the frustration for most people becomes overwhelming. But then there's also just the fear. There's the fear of failure. There's the fear of getting your hopes up again. And, you know, you have to get your hopes up. You're going to be disappointed so often in life, but disappointment can be turned into drive or disappointment can destroy you. Don't let this year be like last. And if last year was great, still don't let it be that way. Raise the standard. If your life is perfect and extraordinary, you darn well know you're not going to be happy unless you keep making it better. That's what makes us feel alive. It's not what we get that makes us happy. It's who we become and what we're able to give because we become more. Our bodies are a reflection of our physical standards. They are not a reflection of our desires. Most people have a desire for more energy or a better body or a stronger body or a more fit body. We don't get our goals, we get our musts. Your income right now is a result of your standards as well. It's not the industry and it's not the economy. People tell me I've tried everything. I say, name the things you've tried. Well, I've tried millions of things. Name them. Well, tens of thousands. Name them. Well, thousands. Name them. Well, these 3 things that don't work, I keep doing. If there's anything that'll shift your life, that'll get you to thrive in a difficult situation, is take some massive action. Try something else. Change it, try it, move it. Progress equals happiness. If you can start to make progress, if you can get yourself going, even if it's not perfect, if it doesn't work, you know what to do. Just change your approach. That doesn't work, change your approach. So often in life, people don't begin the journey because they're not quite sure what to do or how to do it right or how to do it perfect. If you want to change your body, get yourself moving. Don't wait for the perfect trainer. Just go out there and move. Put on your shoes and move and get momentum. Who you spend time with is who you become. And getting yourself in proximity with people that are succeeding, even if you have to work for free for somebody, get in the environment around them, it rubs off on you. You begin to think like they think. You begin to see what the opportunities are. What's an area of your life right now that you really want to improve? What's an area that's important to improve? If your body's great, how about your career? If career's great, how about your relationships? Intimate one especially, or your kids, or your relationship with your creator, your spiritual side of your life, or is it your finances? Figure an area that really matters. Decide on that area. Doing affirmations is not going to change your life. You got to go see where the weeds are and pull them out. My point is simple. You got to see what the problem is, but you can't make it so horrific that you just give up.
It helps in life to be able to see over the horizon. Most people can't do it. And but I think that that your brain is a muscle, just like any other muscle in your body. I mean, it's a little different. But if you use it, your brain will get smarter. Because I only had 128 IQ, the best I ever saw of those IQ tests you take when you're a kid. And 140 is genius. And I think I was in 97th percentile with 128, close to that. So 3% of the people were smarter than me. And I knew that as a teenager because that's when I was taking those IQ tests. And I said, I'm going to have to work really hard if I want to really accomplish something in my life. So I read Shakespeare and history and studied warfare and Alexander the Great, and I was a classics major in college. And I used my brain all the time. I didn't watch television at all, except those documentaries occasionally. And they were educational. Everything I did was educational. And today I'd love to read novels. I'd love to go to the movies, but I don't do it. I can't hear very well, so I can't hear in the movies anyway. So I can't tell what's going on until I get them with a DVD, with the closed captioning for the hearing impaired. But I use my mind, and I think I've got a really good mind now, and I worked at it really hard. A lot of people just waste their mind. They sit there and watch TV and listen to music and just shoot the breeze. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you're not going to get to the real top. I didn't even know where the top was, but I wanted to get there.
my God, when I was 25 years old, I could work like 16 hours a day. Go out, have a meal, curry, couple of beers, straight home, bed, up, back, 16 hours. Out, Soho, curry, 2 beers, go to bed, up, out. It was terrifying to watch. When I think back about it now, I come out in a cold sweat. I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I did that. But I did do it. And I kept doing it. And I failed again and again and again. I never went bankrupt, but only because it wasn't worth bankrupting me. It's the only reason I never went bankrupt. Nobody could be bothered to do it. But I kept working. Wouldn't stop. Never did stop. And my dear lover, Mary France, will tell you, I never have stopped. Maybe that's not such a good thing, but it will absolutely make you one of the richest men or women in your own country, wherever you are.
As you know my story, I met someone when I was 25 years old. His name was Earl Schoaf, who dropped into my life at an extraordinary time. So, key phrase, timing has a lot to do with it, and who knows, part of the mystery of time, the timing. Part of the timing one I just had that experience that I've shared in other seminars when the Girl Scout knocked on my door. And I walked to the door, and she gives me the big pitch on the Girl Scout cookies, best organization in the world for girls. Got several flavors, time to buy the cookies, only $2. And with a big smile, she very politely asked me to buy. No problem, I wanted to buy. Big problem, I didn't have $2 in my pocket. And I didn't want to tell her that. So I did what I thought was next best. I lied to her. And I said, hey, look, I've already bought plenty of Girl Scout cookies. We've still got plenty in the house we haven't eaten yet. She said, oh, that's wonderful. Thank you very much. And she leaves. When she leaves, I say to myself, I don't want to live like this anymore. I mean, how low can you get lying to a Girl Scout? I mean, that's low down. I told myself that day, this will never happen to me again. One of those experiences. It's called like life-changing. I said, I'm going to search till I find better opportunities so my pocket won't be empty and the bank account won't be empty and I won't be so far behind on my promises to my family. And it was shortly after that I meet Earl Schoaf, who taught me how to be wealthy, who taught me how to change my life. So who knows what the connection is, right? Someone says when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. You know, I don't know all the mystery of that. But anyway, it seems like some of those things uniquely happen. But it was Mr. Schoaf over a 5-year period before he died at age 49 who taught me some extraordinarily simple things. He only went to the 9th grade in school, never finished high school, never went to college, never went to university. So he put his ideas and his experiences in very simple language, which I think for me, you know, kid from the farms of Idaho, that simplicity was so important. Because if it would have been technical, I'd have missed it. If it would have been mystic, I would have, backed away. But it was just basic, blunt, ABC, familiar stuff that I hadn't thought of before. And he did start to remind me, and those ideas changed my life. Mr. Schoaf was the one when I said, this is all they pay. He said, you've been working 6 years, Mr. Owen, how come you're not doing better? And I said, this is all the company pays. He says, well, that's not true. I said, no, this is my paycheck. This is all the company pays. He said, no, this is all the company pays you. I thought, that's a new way to look at it, right? He said, doesn't the company pay 2, 3, 4, 5 times this amount to other people? I said, well, yes. He said, well, then this is not all the company pays. It's all they pay you. And if you qualified, wouldn't your income grow 2, 3, 4, 5 times? I said, I suppose. So he said, we don't have to work on the company. We have to work on you. See, that was the beginning of what he called the phrase personal development. I told him things cost too much. He said, no, you can't afford them. I thought, well, that's a new concept. I hadn't thought about that. You know, we put some of the valuable things on the high shelf, so you can't get to them until you qualify. If you want the things on the higher shelf, you've got to stand on the books you read. Every book you read, you get to stand a little higher so you can get the things on the higher shelf. See, I learned those concepts. It was so incredible. And here was the most important one. Success is something you attract by the person you become. See, that phrase changed my life. Success is something you attract by the person you become. Success is not something you pursue. It's like chasing a butterfly. You can't quite catch it. Success is something you attract by becoming an attractive person. See, those were new concepts to me. I'm just working hard trying to make a living. Here's what he said to me. This changed my life. I got a chance to teach this in Moscow and across Russia. 3 visits, now the 4th. Here's what Shoaff taught me. Profits are better than wages. Nobody taught me that in high school. Nobody taught me that. I went to 1 year of college. Nobody taught me. Profits are better than wages. Wages make you a living. Profits make you a fortune. And how could you work on both a living and a fortune? He said, well, you could start part-time working on your fortune while you're working full-time on your living. I thought, wow. Now, he said, it's fun to get up in the morning. Not just getting up, go to work to pay the rent, but to get up to go to work to make a fortune. First, to make a living for my family. Second, to make a fortune. And he taught me how to make both a living and a fortune. Guess what I did? I learned how to make both a living and a fortune. And I found out anybody could do it once they get the information. And at age 25, I started receiving this extraordinary information. Here's what he said. Your income is directly related to your philosophy, not to the economy. I thought, no one ever told me that. I kept hoping the economy would change. He said, no, your philosophy has to change. I assured him that I had my fingers crossed. He said, that won't help. Then what could I do to change my income and multiply it by 2, by 3, by 5, by 10, and then multiply it by 10 again? What could I do? And he started giving me the disciplines and the process of learning the skills to change my life. This was an extraordinary man. Those were extraordinary times for me. Life-changing in every manner that you can imagine. But very simple ABC concepts. Here's what I learned. Not to search for the exotic until you've discovered the basic. And those basic philosophies that he shared with me during that time were life-changing.